All right, guys, we are back. We are back with Queen Sugar. We're going to do a recap of this, what I call the Black Lives Matter episode. That's not the name of the title, but I'm saying that because of everything that was involved. Now, we first start out with a very, very happy tone. Darla and Ralph Angel have gotten married. We saw in the last episode. I love to see the scene of just married in the truck. It is an old country thing to me to see the cans behind it. And I know that just married in a truck has probably been more than just Louisiana, but I'm speaking of the South, and it is a thing. It is a thing. Anyway, just married. They go off to their honeymoon. I love to see the two. They're a married couple. We're even getting to see the sexy scene. Darla with her lingerie and things with Ralph Angel. I was like, okay, I like this. Because it's showing them that he's like, I'm introducing you to the Darla, the wife. You're the husband. It's just a different world, right? So then we get to the happy moment that all of a sudden everyone's phones are going off. It's like, what is going on? Why is everybody's phone going off? Well, come to find out, the whole knee on the neck, George. Don't forget these names. We're watching it in real time as far as the show. They're seeing what we have seen over the past summer, but we're seeing Queen Sugar, the cast, reaction to everything. Our vibe is very upset because to us, you're putting your knee on his neck. The man said he can't breathe, and from everyone else watching him call out for his mother, because we all call out for our mom or our dad when things are just so dire and you're so desperate. Who else can you call? Micah watching this for the first time, it triggered him. And the reason why is because when he got arrested the last summer before and the white officer put the gun in his mouth, the whole thing. So it triggered him and brought back memories for him and Charlie. It was a very sad moment, and they came together. He just cried in his mom's arms. The one thing I liked about this episode, it did show black men, young black men and older black men, breaking down crying. This stigma where black men shouldn't cry, you should always be strong. Black women too. She's breaking those, like, look. So, Ralph Angel and Darla are on their honeymoon. I think they're kind of oblivious to what's going on right now. And Hollywood gives him a call. Hollywood was like, look, man, I don't mean to bother you on your honeymoon, but have you seen the news? Have you seen what's going on right now? So, Ralph Angel turns it on. What's going on in the news? And he sees the knee. And he breaks down. He's just weeping. It's unimaginable to see something like this on TV. Bystanders saying, stop it. He can't breathe. And they keep going anyway. The fact that people are recording with cell phones, and you know they're recording on cell phones, and it doesn't bother you in the least. That's also very sad. Very sad and very scary. So, Darla's like, I want to go home to my son. I don't know what he's seeing right now. I have a young black man. I want to go home to him and talk to him about all of this. At first, Ralph Angel was like, you know, a lot of people go on vacation. Your people go on vacation, honeymoons, and leave everything behind. Let's just stay here. We only have 2 more days left. Daughter was like, I want to see my son. So as they're getting their gas, you go on trips, you get your gas to go back. When we go to Louisiana, we get gas going, and then before we leave Louisiana, we get gas on the way back. That's just the way it goes. So they stop by the gas station, nothing out of the ordinary, and then I'm not for sure if she said Black Lives Matter shirt, something she had on her shirt, and he made a comment. What if I have all white lives matter? Or, just smart comments. Just approach them for no reason at all. First thing I said was, aren't we in the pandemic? Who approaches anybody anymore, for one? Okay. So anyway, he gets smart. I thought Ralph Edwards was going to just straight hit him in the face. He was like, look, you guys are trash. You guys are done after this whole video and everything else. You guys are done anyway. Go ahead and go about your business. So Charlie is concerned because she is a councilwoman and she's gotten word that there's going to be a protest. And that the protest, there may be violence involved. Now, sometimes I wonder that propaganda that most time whenever there's some kind of protest, with Black lives, and I think it's always been this way where if there's any kind of marching or anything, the first thing people say is, well, there's going to probably be some violence there. Why is it going to be violence? Because there are going to be Black young people involved. Young people, as far as Black young people, have been protesting since the 60s. Even their parents didn't want them to do it, but they wanted to stand for something, so they did. They went stood for something. They stood up and they marched. Micah's no different. After everything he went through, why wouldn't he want to march? So when she approached him about it, Charlie was like, look, I heard there's going to be some violence. I don't, know about this. And Micah was like, I'm the one that organized it. I think in her mind as a mom, she thought about it for a minute. I could, make a big deal about it. But instead of making a big deal about it, why don't I just join him? Now, of course, she didn't say that, but all of a sudden, she comes around the corner when she sees him and she says, hey, do you have another shirt like that with the Justice for All on it? And even then, I don't think that he thought she would make her way out there. Maybe wear a shirt in support. So we go to Nova and I say stepdaughter because if they were married, that would be her stepdaughter. They're having dinner because she's getting ready to go to the protest. And even he would make comments about maybe you can record it or watch it later. I remember saying to myself, that was the wrong thing. She's kind of on edge. She's with the white man who was a cop. I don't know how she's doing it. And so she started questioning him and saying, in front of the daughter. I was like, she a G. Nova was like, didn't you watch a black boy get beaten by white cops and you just stood by and watch? Daughter was like, Dad, what? The daughter's a millennial. She's into protesting. And I would not stop a white young lady from helping the cause. Why would I? This is the thing. This is a generational thing. A lot of people were taught. You understand? They have been taught for a long time about being negative and racist. And so generations of kids growing up who may not have grown up in the 60s, as they grew up, the aunties and everybody who taught them how to be racist, that's what they were brought up on. So if you have a generation that's changing and wants to protest and be there, who's going to stop that? That's part of the solution. Not just us marching, but also them believing that what's going on is wrong. white privilege, all of that. Wrong. So as she talks and he says, because she asked him, she said, Nova said, are you embarrassed? Because as black people, if we see the news, we say, I hope it's not black. So she just simply asked him, hey, were you embarrassed when this all popped off? And he was kind of like, I was disgusted by it, but I wasn't embarrassed. I was like, well. So, the comments that he made about like a quota of beating up a black person by being an officer, as if it is part of being an officer, a white officer especially, that if you are stopping a black man and doing something to him, then you're doing a good job as a white officer. Just so much. It's so many codes and names that we don't know about. It's ridiculous. So when it comes to the march, we see Micah out there, of course. Nova. We see her stepdaughter. We see her man out there. We see everybody out there. Look at her out there. Look, I'm saying. It's a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing. Look, he's even out there. She's probably opened up this man's eyes to so much. Change only happens when these little things happen. It's never just about us doing stuff. It's a combination. We got to work together. We're on this planet. We got to work together. I don't know if people really realize that or not. So Darla and Ralph Angel end up going home and talking to Micah. But before I go there, Hollywood, since he lost his mother, he is spiraling. Something is going on. This man has a gun. Now, from what he's told Aunt Violet, they found it. He had it hidden. He's closing his business down. He don't care about that anymore. They're shutting everything down to Aunt Violet. They're scared there might be a riot. He's freaking out thinking that the family could be injured or hurt, and he wants to have a gun to protect everybody. The whole time he's been vibing, living in that house, he's had a gun. He's very concerned. He wants to protect his family, and I can understand that. So, going home and talking to Micah, having to explain to your child about being a young black man, and if you are pulled over by the police, you could be killed. A lot of times you teach your child, love everybody. All lives matter, especially when they're young. But now the conversation has to turn into, you might be 13 or 14 walking the street, 15 and 16 driving. You may be pulled over by the white police. These are the tools I have to teach you how to survive. Because when Micah asks his parents a legit question, I don't want to die. How can I not die? Because your son is watching the news and this black man just got killed by white police. How do you respond to that as a parent? Any age. But that age, oh God, that has to be hard. Nova did a whole special for the many names that we cannot forget. George, Breonna Taylor. We cannot forget these names. There's so many of them. Unfortunately, so many. The Black Lives Matter fight is still going. So the fact that Queen Sugar is tackling this topic is everything, because it is what's going on in real life. The way she is doing it by dates, she's doing each month and doing the episode. So as if you took a camera and filmed any state when this was going on in real life, How did everyone react to pandemic, to the Black Lives Matter movement, all these different things? It would be like this. Because everyone was living, living their real life, living life, period, before the pandemic hit, before anything hit. It stopped everything. And also brought to the forefront things that been going on even before pandemic. But everyone is looking. Everyone's eyes were open at this time, and there still are. I think the white officers that did that to him did not realize, or they thought nothing was going to happen to him, which makes it worse. So this was a deep episode I wanted to dig into. A very good episode. Seeing everything that happened with Micah and how he was triggered. He was triggered because of everything that happened to him, and it made me so sad because I have two boys of my own. I couldn't imagine having to have this conversation. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I appreciate all the support and the love from everybody. Okay? So this is it. Now, when I say the South and I'm from Louisiana, please don't take it wrong because people blog about this this show, and they are not from Louisiana. I'm not saying that you guys don't know about it. I speak on my life, my experiences, and being in the Texas and in Louisiana and how things are done in the South and how she has really portrayed that very well. All right, guys, that's all I got.